to another episode on the Mind to Lead. This is episode number 3 of the isolation series. I can't believe it. Episode number 3. And the realization that we've actually been in isolation for 3 weeks. So let's maybe start there. Anna, how are you? How has your week been?
It has been amazing. I feel like we were just laughing off camera, saying how, oh my gosh, I need to get my eyebrows done. I'm missing my eyebrows. And Georgie, you just laughed and said, if that's the worst, if that's what you come out of this pandemic feeling, then I think I've won. But no, I've had an incredible week. We had, a busy week in business. We had Easter. Obviously, I know we're going to dive into that a little bit. And I had a beautiful time. Morgan and we plan to cook a lot. We pick some favorite meals that we don't usually cook, like roasts and pastas. And we cooked that all weekend long, enjoyed all the chocolate and all the wine. And now I'm back at it on a Monday. How about you?
Yeah, no, good. It's been a bit of it's been a strange week this week. So I mean, we've been working exceptionally hard. I've been in the process of designing an online course, which is taking up a lot of my time and my creative energy, and it's been absolutely amazing. So what I decided to do was to keep this Easter weekend free, because I wanted just to unwind and relax. And what I am feeling this morning is that I'm a bit like, because I've relaxed and stopped, I'm actually finding it quite difficult to get going again. And what I wanted to come on here and actually say first and foremost is that this is literally how people are feeling all the time. Like, and if people are on the Easter break right now and then, they're not going to be going back into work tomorrow, it's going to be really challenging, I think, for people to get back into any kind of normality and flow in their lives. Because, I mean, I'm probably one of the most motivated individuals that, one of them on the planet. For me to say today, wow, I'm feeling a little bit exhausted after not doing anything. So I thought we sort of start with that. So, I think keeping energy high at this time is going to be everyone's challenge. So how have you gone with that? Have you sort of slowed down this weekend? What's been your sort of, rest like?
DMO. I love this question, and I know that we always talk about it, ourselves as friends. So 2 things. I want to preface it with 2 big things. Everybody is definitely feeling like this, but I think that obviously it is so amplified with the pandemic. It just is. But so number 1, I give myself grace. So I knew that going into the Easter long weekend, and my husband's really good at this. He's like, take some time off. Like, do not work. No one will be working. You will be an annoying individual, like, if you keep working. So I absolutely set the intention that, Friday I was off. So I still did that, maybe half a day. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was off, and I was super happy to binge Netflix and drink wine and eat chocolate and just give myself grace on all levels with that. So, which I did. I went into it with that headstrong sort of mentality of have fun, no guilt, switch off, do all the things. However, I mean, I know today's still like a public holiday, but I've worked from home for 7 years, so I don't need or take really public holidays. I could take a Wednesday if I wanted, and I regularly do. So I'm back today, but to be in the headspace of coming back today, which for everybody else is going to be tomorrow, I absolutely planned today last night. Right. So Morgan and I set a new workout goal, because I knew that it would be really hard to even get back into that. It is. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're, I don't know, Serena Williams. Like, it can be hard after a weekend of fun. So we set ourselves a new, really big, like, different workout goal, which was like, I know we shared last week that I've been running. I've started running just for my mental state. And so this week it was like, okay, let's go big. We're going to run marathon distance. So 42 Ks in the week. So broken down into 6 kilometers a day. But we woke up then with passion and purpose. We were actually really excited to go for that run because it was attached to a goal. Then I obviously had my diary planned out, so I knew, you know, this call, other calls. I've got calls tonight, so lots in the diary, but I had that all mapped out. And I know we were just joking off camera as well. I got up and I washed my hair, but that is such a big part of it for me, like actually getting up and having that intention that I'm going to get dressed, wash my hair, come into the space of work. This is my office, and get to it. So for me, it was like, it's not even like line in the sand, stake in the ground. It's just knowing that tomorrow for everyone, they're going to wake up. And look, you can do this in any practice in your life. So say someone is having some time off, or they're not well and they have to get back into it. It's just the same ethos applies. I think if you plan your day or the week, but especially your first day back the night before, and set some goals around it. So I've even got some business goals this week. I've got, and definitely a workout goal, because movement is so good for mental health. So especially after a weekend of fun. So that's kind of how I gave myself grace. I, slept in. I think we told you, like on Saturday we slept until 9 a.m. and it was just divine. And it was perfect. But then today's a new day and we're structured and ready to go with washed hair.
Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful washed hair, by the way. So look, I think you've touched on two really important things there. One being goals and two being intention, right? So like we say, people are going to wake up tomorrow and they just spent a beautiful weekend, maybe indulging a lot, spending time, maybe they've been cooped up in the house, or whatever story they're telling themselves. But, tomorrow is going back into, what should be a normal work week. And people are going to be waking up tomorrow and going, maybe not feeling energized. So let's talk about goals first. I think having the goals definitely sets you up for working from home, for basically being as productive as what you possibly can be. So you said you set your goals the night before. So what advice would you say give to people? Because it's something I absolutely love and do every night myself. So how do you go about setting your personal goals? Like, do you use a SMART formula, or do you just sit down and go, right, what are my goals this week? Like, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so I really want you to answer this as well, because I know you have a phenomenal way that you do it too. But and I've got no structure, in the sense that I obviously have my big goals on my vision board. So they're the big goals. They're the ones that, you're not going to achieve in a day. However, to get to those, I absolutely break it down week to week, essentially. So, and even no matter if people don't have businesses, I know everyone's working from home. Most people are working from home at the moment, but we're also talking so much on this podcast series, which I love, about it's not about not wasting it, but starting that side hustle, or writing the book, or creating that course. So that could be something that you're also trying to navigate and structure within your schedule. So for me, I look at the week ahead, and we work from home, so we have an online business, and I look at what do I want to achieve action-wise. So it's not even necessarily an income goal. That comes obviously when you're in action. So for me, I look at, what I want to achieve from an action perspective that particular week in my business, and I set the goals around that. Now, if that then means, because ours is network marketing, so if that means that I then have to help others achieve their goals, I'm speaking to them going, okay, let's set some goals for you. What did you want to achieve this week? So again, if you're working from home and maybe you have a team, or you're part of a team, it's the same thing. It's going to them and saying, okay, these are my goals for the week. Or maybe it's you're a mum and you actually want to start that book, or you want to start the course, or you want to launch a label, whatever it is, it's the same thing applies. It's going, okay, what do I need to achieve this week? Is it writing the spreadsheet? Is it contacting some suppliers? Is it going to Officeworks and, buying some butcher paper to start the course? Yeah. I know that was one of mine last week. So whatever that is in your own particular world for your particular lifestyle and goal, I just break it down small. So for me, it's just like, I don't have like SMART or anything. It's just, okay, what do I want to achieve in the week ahead for my business and my health? And then I go. So I said to Morgs, I know this is silly, but we've obviously been having a ball. And I said to Morgs, okay, this week ahead, we're only having a drink one of the nights. And that's a goal. I know it sounds silly, but it's very important at the moment, because I know we're all kind of a little bit going off probably the deep end. And so I said to Moggs, okay, we're on, on the weekend, we're not going to have drinks Friday and Saturday night. We're only going to have a drink Saturday night. But it's setting myself up on Monday that I know that is the goal and the rule for the week that I set. And it makes for a healthy, happy, productive, successful life. It just does. Yeah. I think it's that whole ideology that, this, G, but, if you want to go somewhere, it's like getting in the car, not having the GPS, having no key, and just sort of sitting there like, well, what do I do? You end up nowhere, versus if you get in the car, you've got the key, you put the address in a GPS, you know exactly where you're going. So, yeah. What do you do, though?
Well, I think when it comes to goals, I think where I've gone wrong in the past is I've set myself too many across all different, verticals in life. So let's just say you could have goals for your health, you could have goals for your business, your career, your family. I think at this time, one piece of advice that I've used myself and I would give to others is that just pick one, right? This is not the time to be panicking about achieving everything, right? So your goal right now, your priority could be to spend more time with your family, right? Use this time to do that. Use this time to spend more time with your kids, getting to know them, or rekindle your relationship with your partner. Like, so if you are saying, in this time, my goal right now is to spend more time with my family, but you are then working all day, every day, you're ignoring your husband when he's speaking to you because you're on your phone, or you're texting your friend when you're supposed to be with your children, you're going to find yourself out of that alignment that we spoke about before we jumped on the call. So I think the tendency is to set these goals across all areas of our life, and then we feel like we're not making progress because we're multitasking goals, right? We have a habit as society of like trying to achieve all these things all at once. And I just think now is not the time to be multitasking our goals. Now is the time to be picking one thing, one priority that you think right now in my life, what is going to make me feel happy, fulfilled, and joyful each day. And that might be spending time with your family, or it might be starting a business, or it might be improving your health, so we can't do it all, and that's okay. And I think we have a tendency to want to just do all these things. So my goal right now is to keep my health optimized, right? Because I've had a couple of little health things recently, and I want to make sure that I'm optimizing my health every single day. So that means if you go to my schedule in my diary for this week, next week, you're going to see walk in there. You're going to see meditation in there. You're going to see yoga in there, because right now my goal is to optimize my health. Yes, you're also going to see time when I'm planning my business and doing all the other good things, but my priority right now is my health. So that comes first above everything else. And that's my goal for the next month, just prioritizing my health, and because I know if my health is prioritized, then I'll have more energy to then work on that project and that business and show up for my husband and my friends and everything else. So I think when people feel stressed and out of alignment and feel like they're not achieving, it's because they're focused on too much. And that's where I have fallen short all the time, constantly setting myself these crazy goals. So yeah, thoughts on that? I'd love your theory on that as well.
I think that just personifies this whole thing that we've been gifted with this pandemic. I think that it is about the one thing. There's a phenomenal book. I've got it, I think, in my
in your library.
In my library. I can't spot it straight away. But it's called The One Thing. But the idea about this, and I love this piece on alignment, people feeling out of alignment or stretched or overwhelmed in this pandemic. And everyone is. It's a beast. It's a beast of a time, right? But I think it's focusing on and not listening, not even to us. I mean, we can prompt you in a positive, safe, holding the space for you kind of way. We're not telling you what to do, but I think the stress and the overwhelm, the extra beast of this pandemic is that people are listening to so many people. Correct. And there's kind of two real camps at the moment, and it's the start the book or use this time that you've been gifted, which I'm in that camp, absolutely. But I know we both are, but use this time absolutely because we've just been gifted the greatest thing on earth that money can't buy, which is time. There's that. And then there's the other camp kind of refuting that camp, going, no, take the nap, live your best life. Like if you just need to binge Netflix and, you know, wear no bra and drink wine all day, do it. And people, I think that's where the misalignment, I believe, speaking to a lot of, this is what I do. I coach women all day, every day. So speaking to a lot of women, I feel like that misalignment is, and it ties back in so beautifully to what you said about what is the, like, what's going to provide you happiness right now. And people know that if they get still and they listen, they are their own North Star. They are their guiding light. They are like, they know what makes them happy. They know what makes them tick. Husbands generally. They know what it triggers them. They know all these things. So it's like, if they got still and they really ask themselves, what is a priority for them? What's one priority for them in this time? And it might be health, which could be new for you, which is beautiful and exciting. It could actually be that you want to focus on health, or maybe it is meditation, or maybe it is rest. But you are only going to be the one to know that. And I think that when they can get still and quiet and block out all the other noise and not listen to what other accounts, like I said, ourselves included, we're more holding the space to say, be still, tune in, ask that question of what do you want in this time, you know, working from home, which I know we'll get to, but and then focus on that as a priority. And that is where the goals do absolutely come from. Because I know for me, it's business. Like my thing is, I kept saying that I don't have time necessarily to start this course that I really wanted to start. And so now I'm like, hang on a minute, I've got all this extra time because the world feels like it, for me, like it's on a beautiful pause, which has given me the space to breathe. And I'm like, wow, I've got more time to kind of focus, and I don't feel like I'm, you know, trying to constantly catch up. That's my focus. But I know I'm in total alignment with that. So my goals absolutely reflect that. So that's where that whole like that energy and that, and it's an innate energy when you are in that alignment, because you know. Now, if I'm still resting, I took a nap for the first time in 10 years yesterday. Like I'm resting. There's 24 usable hours in a day, but I know that in this time period, that's what I want to go after and that's what I want to achieve. So I love that focus on the one thing, but I'd also encourage people to actually get still, and they probably maybe haven't asked themselves this question yet in this time. What is it that they do want to achieve, if anything? And is the achievement the enablement of rest? Maybe you haven't just rested and done nothing for 10 years or whatever. Maybe that is the thing. Then there should be no guilt then.
Correct.
When you do rest and just take that time, and obviously still, you know, do healthy things. But so I love that conversation. I just feel like that hit the whole nail on the head of everything we hope to help people with in this time.
Just that's it. And that's the thing, I think, as well, like it's so easy to jump on other people's accounts, like you say, and go, oh, she's working on that, and then you start to feel guilty. But if you have become crystal clear on, no, that's not a priority for me right now. My priority is my family, and that's what I want to focus on right now. Then there shouldn't be any guilt, and that's okay. Like we are all on our own journey, and you know, you and I say it all the time, but it's like, you know, yes, set the goals, but it is the journey that matters and who you become. You know, so I think that is the thing to focus on in all of this as well. So, yeah, look, I think that it's very, very easy to be, you know, we spend a lot of time again, and it's probably a little bit more on social accounts and things, but just be very aware of what you're consuming and what you're reading and what you're listening to right now. And just maybe after this podcast, just turn it, just shut down just for 10 minutes and sit in silence and ask yourself, like, what is important to me right now? What do I want? You know, where are my priorities, and where is my time going to be spent over these next few weeks? And if it is family, if it is business, that's okay. Like, do what's right for you. Don't look at the Joneses next door and go, oh, I should be, because I think as soon as you say the word should, then you are literally setting yourself up for anxiety, stress. Like, I should do this. Like, you shouldn't do anything. Like, shouldn't even be a word in the dictionary. It's like, well, I can do this and I get to do this. Like, choose your words very carefully at this time as well, and don't put the pressure on yourself to feel like you should be exercising, you should be building a business, you should be reading more. Like, just get clear on what's really important to you right now, and whatever that is perfect for you.
Yeah, and I always say a tip or a trick with finding alignment within yourself is changing your language in exactly what you said with the should. But I always say if you go to say that, so if you go, um, I don't have time, which we all do at the moment, but a lot of people are like, I know there's a lot more kids at home at the moment, so people are really struggling with it. That's a whole other beast unto itself. So we are just honoring all mums right now, stuck at home more than ever with children. I know all my girlfriends that I'm speaking to and all business associates, that's a real stress for them. But I would even say with that, I say when you go to say, I don't have time, I just don't have time, I don't have time to start the whatever, or I don't have time to rest, change it instead to that's just not a priority for me right now. And if you say that and it feels sick, if you're like, oh my God, I can't, like, then you know that you're out of alignment. That's my biggest thing. Because if I just would never utter the words for myself. I make the time, right? So if I was like, I just don't have time to exercise, health is my highest priority as well. So it's like, it's not that it's not that, it's that if I changed it and said it's just not a priority for me right now, I know how wrong that would feel in my body and my mouth, and I would know, okay, I'm out of alignment there. I need to make that a priority. So again, try it on for size. If it's like, I don't have time to rest, or you don't understand, I don't have time to start the business or the side hustle, change it instead and say it's just not a priority for me right now. I think it's more, that line is more relative than ever, because if you say it and it not like makes you feel sick, but you're like, that just doesn't feel right in my body and my mouth, then you know that you got to make it a priority. And you can, because we've got that time. We do.
Absolutely. So let's sort of go into the week now, because you and I have worked from home for the you longer than I have, you for years, me for the last sort of 8 months. And look, I won't lie, like I think when I first started working from home, like I did struggle with the whole boundaries of technology, like struggling to switch off and struggling to find that space and that environment where I felt productive. So you've touched on setting yourself up the night before, so when you wake up you've got that plan in place for the day. What else could people be doing when they wake up tomorrow and they're starting their week, or whenever they listen to this? Like, what could they do to get the most out of the time that we do have and things now that we are all working from home?
I would say, I was just thinking about this, Alma. I know we touched on a few things last week in this sort of this topic, or around, I don't know, this topic. But the biggest thing that I would say, especially, and I want to speak to people as well, where I can offer help, because I have been working from home personally just over 7 years now. And I've been working at home with my husband for 6. So I can really speak to that, because I think as well, more than ever, that's something that we didn't touch on definitely last week, how to navigate that. And I fail forward with it still regularly. So no one's an expert. If anyone's an expert, reach out. But I know that for me, giving myself grace when we fail forward. But the biggest thing that I will say, if you both are all of a sudden in a situation, even if you're, say, a mum, that's still a job. I'm like, that should be the highest paid profession in the world. So I'm excited, and I'm really curious to see and hear and understand this dynamic of all of a sudden husbands are at home working in the office or whatever, seeing their wife work as a mum in the home all day, because it's relentless and endless. But what I would say, or if you both have to work from home and you're both trying to navigate it, the biggest thing that I will say, that what saved our marriage, George, I know you have you guys actually work in the same office, but so we're the perfect polar opposites. Morgan and I have separate spaces. So I would say, if you haven't yet and you're just like, you guys are like, people are blowing up at each other, or you feel like your husband or wife is, not disrespecting, but almost like not understanding or not respecting that if you're on a phone call, find your own space. Go and buy a secondhand desk, even if it has to be, and put it in the bedroom. Just find somewhere else, if you're like me, that you need your own space to work from. Again, you can speak to existing harmoniously. But working from separate spaces changed Morgan and I's relationship, in working relationship, and also when we come together. So we do have set working hours. I can be crap at that still and overwork. But when we come together, it's like, okay, we're both going to agree at 5:30 we're going to go walk Zeus, and that is in the diary. It's like, if that's when we say that we're going to finish, that is when we say we're going to finish, because the trap at home is that you just can keep working. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. And something that I didn't say last as well, in the office, like respect it. I always say, if you treat something like a business, it will pay and treat you back like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to, reward you like a hobby in any aspect of life. If you were at work, you couldn't just sit on a couch in the reception area and put the TV on, or that you couldn't sit there and scroll your phone for an hour and then be like, oh, whoops, because your boss would have a go at you. Treat your working space and time and schedule at home with the same respect that you do at the workplace. I don't put the TV on during the day, rarely at night either, but I don't put the TV on during the day, because if you put that sucker on, it will suck you in, like just one more episode. So if you wouldn't do it in the workplace, don't do it in your home space, is the thing that I would say.
That's brilliant. I love that.
How do you... Yeah. Tell me how you and Kyle work so harmoniously together.
Well, look, I mean, we've certainly had our challenges with it. I think over the years, I've definitely toned down. I used to be like, when I was in recruitment, I was like sales, I was like 90 miles an hour. I was go, making the next sale, deals. But what I have actually come to realize in my own journey, in my own life, is that whole way of living and life didn't actually fulfill me. It actually made me extremely stressed. I suffered hugely with anxiety. I didn't prioritize my health or my relationships. And as a consequence of always being that 90 miles an hour, hungry, tenacious salesperson, I really put my own health and my relationships, down the scale of what was important. And what I have come to realize, the more I get to know myself and the more I spend time alone with myself, and that's why meditation has been so powerful in my life, is just actually what is important. And what is important is my health and my relationships as well. So Carl and I communicate beautifully every single evening. Like we sit down to dinner every single night, no matter what's happened in the day, and we talk. We sit across from each other and we say, how was your day, how was my day? And we talk about all the things that we have been really grateful for that day. And it is literally a daily practice that we do. But when we come together to work, we both what we do is we set alarms. So I'll set an alarm on my phone for every hour. So I'll go on my phone, Siri, go off in an hour's time. So we'll work for an hour and we'll literally go laser focused in what we're doing. And then the alarm will go off, and no matter what's going on, we'll stand up, we'll take a few deep breaths, go and fill up our water, have a little 5-minute chat about what we're going through, what's happening, and then back we go again. But what we also do just on top of that is, I'm very intentional with how I want to show up for Kyle and everyone that I love and care about in my life. So I think, how can I show up as the best version of myself today? What energy does that look like? How am I being? And I think that it wasn't until I got really crystal clear about the type of person I wanted to be, the type of energy I wanted to bring into all of my working and family and friendships, that I actually started to become the person I actually wanted to be. I look back at 5 years ago and I was crazy recruiter Georgie, and I was like, I didn't really like who I was becoming because I was really selfish. I didn't really care about anybody else. But now over the years I have softened, because what I've come to realize is yes, like you could be the most successful sales rep in the world, but if you don't have beautiful people in your life, if you're not healthy and happy, then it doesn't matter. You could be earning all the dollar in the world, but looking back, I was fundamentally unhappy. So now I put a lot more focus and importance on the relationships and how I am showing up, one, as myself, and two, for the people I care about. So we take regular breaks together, we sit down together every single night, and we just respect one another. I don't interrupt him. Like, we have that hour's time, because I know that I can't interrupt him in that hour and he can't interrupt me in that hour. But when that alarm goes off, we can then talk. So it's being very respectful from each other's for each other's time. We have lunch together every day as well. So I don't know, it's just that mutual respect, but it's also like knowing that I don't want to go through life on my own. I want to go through life with him. So, you know, at the same time, like, why would I not respect him and honor him as a human being? So I think I wasn't always that intentional with my relationships, but like I said, I didn't like who I was becoming back in my sales days, where, to be honest, I didn't really care about anyone else but myself. I learned the hard way, and I lost, you know, some people. You know, I didn't have a good relationship at the time. So now I'm really focused on making sure that my relationships are always the best they can be, because I show up through my morning routines, through my exercise, through my meditation. So I fill myself up first, and I can show up for others that I love and care about in the best way possible.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
That's such a big picture, beautiful. I'm like, oh, I'm going to take so much from that. But it's such a big picture, beautiful way to look at it, that it's like ultimately, and people really don't, I mean, people that are now listening, if you are working from home, it's like, you will now understand. Like, I feel like so many people will have such a different level of respect for couples, A, that work together, and B, work from home, because you're now obviously going through that yourself, and it can be a different beast. But I think that's just a really beautiful, and like the surface level, like, have a different space, and it does help so much. But you went in that deep dive, which I think is beautiful, of, you know, look at who you both are becoming as a person, because ultimately that, if you have respect for yourself, you're going to respect the other person. If you love yourself, you're going to love that person. If you know, if you want to spend your life with that person, of course you want to, you know, work with them and create a harmonious workplace and home, because we work from home. So I love that.
And just on that as well, I think, like, at the same time, you're a couple, you're going through life on this journey together, you want the same things, right? So why not help each other achieve that? Like, you know, otherwise, what's it all for? Like, you know, I think it's, if couples could learn to sort of work together more and support each other and build each other up, then, you know, because ultimately what we were working for, to have our nice holidays, to, you know, own our nice homes, to do all these amazing things. So put your energy together, and together, you know, you're going to flourish more. Whereas, like, you don't stop clashing, stop colliding, just work together, you know?
Oh, and on that, just the, like, yes, so much so. And how you do that is like the one thing that I will say that I know you guys are phenomenal at it as well. But, and Morgs and I, is radical communication.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is just a whole other, like, marriage relationship thing we can talk to. But yeah, I would say radical communication, working from home. Like, you want to be seen, and you want to be heard, and you want to be respected. There's that word again. But like, if, to me, I can say to Morgs, I might interpret something that he didn't mean to do that at all, but that's just my perception. I don't go, well, you did this. I will literally say, hey, I felt this way when you did that, and you probably didn't mean to. And, you know, he's always like, oh my gosh, of course. People ask us all the time, do we fight? Not really, because we'll have conversations like that. We'll bicker. But for people that eat, work, crap, sleep, travel, you know, together 24/7, not really, because of that core distinction in radical communication, which is just, you know, profound in any relationship. But it's like, I don't say, you did this, blame. I'll say, hey, I felt like this when you did that, when I was on the phone and you blatantly, you know, took a call loudly or whatever, you know, and it might have been a really important call. And, you know, instead of Morgs, well, for us, it's like, instead of that person getting on the defensive, like, I didn't do that at all, he'll go, hey, look, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. And you're right. I did not mean to make you feel like that at all. And I'm so sorry. It's just that real diffuser of radically communicating. Because, I mean, again, I know when kids are involved, it can be, I just want to honor, because I know parents will go, yeah, but they don't have kids yet. We know. It's a choice, but I will say, even then, if not more, it will need radical communication, because it will be like, I felt like this when you, you know, X, Y, Z.
Yeah. 100%. And I think it's just that attention, like, you know, I mean, when we could go and sit in cafes, like, it always baffled me when couples were sat there with all families, and they were just all on their phones. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I really hope that through this pandemic, like, people do reconnect with their families and do put the phones and the digital distractions away, and just give them your full attention. Like, I think that's the quickest way to ruin a marriage or ruin a relationship, is like, you know, be talking to someone while you're texting, or you're working your laptop and your other half's got a question. Like, just acknowledge them, or just say, look, I'm in the middle of this email. Can we just give me 5 minutes and you'll have my full attention, like, but whatever you do, don't just sit there typing away and ignore the other person. Like, that is, you're asking for trouble. And I think that, that's just such a lack of respect. But look, for those people that are waking up tomorrow morning and who are going to be working from home, we don't know how long this is going to be going on for. Let's just summarize. So it is setting goals basically the night before. Having intentions for your day, but also how you want to show up for the people that are in your home. You said about different workspaces, which I think is absolutely crucial.
Radical communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah, radical communication.
And I think just going back to the whole goal thing, it's like, just pick one thing. Like, don't be overwhelmed. Take a breath. Like, this is asking us to slow down, to seek what's important, to work on something that maybe you've just been ignoring. But take time after this now just to sit and be with just yourself and just get clear on, what am I actually prioritizing? What do I want to prioritize at this time? And then you can do it and be guilt-free.
I love that.
I think that's the problem.
This is the week, the question. This is the week for them to be still and ask, because we haven't really said it, but like, ask yourself, what do you want this week? What is it that you want? What do you all want? Is the achievement out of this? Because it could be 6 months, it could be another 6 months, we just don't know. And instead of having that uncertainty and fear, could you, what did I say this morning? Rename it, reclaim it and rename it. So like, reclaim whatever is going on for you. Like, it's like, well, reclaim that feeling and that achievement, whatever you want out of it, and then rename it. How are you going to come out of this? But you're the only one that's going to know. But you're not going to know unless you get still. I mean, you're working from home, I know that's the whole thing, but it's like, even working from home, those tips don't mean anything if you don't know what you're working towards, or you don't want to, leverage your time even more. Maybe it is take more naps, who knows? But ask the question, be still and ask the question this week. What is it that I do want out of this? Is it to rest or is it to achieve something that I've been saying that I wanted for years and haven't had the time?
And that's it, right? And then if you get clear on that one thing, then you are going to feel like you're living in alignment. You are going to feel at peace. You are going to feel happy and content. And that's amazing. And also, your goals can change if it is going to go on for longer than, a few months. And that's okay as well. Like, just, we're, the only constant in life is change, right? So just keep on reassessing, keep on asking yourself those questions. And on that note, I think another beautiful conversation. And I just couldn't be picking a more beautiful human being to be doing this with. So thank you, Anna. Just so much amazing advice and tips and tricks for everybody to listen to. So really, thank you. You are a beautiful human being. I love you to pieces.
Love you, Georgina.
All right.
Bye. See you next week.
See you, team. Thank you so much for listening to the Mind to Lead podcast. I really hope you got some great takeaways and key learnings from this episode. To help us spread the message, please give us a rating and leave us a review. We love reading your thoughts and your insights and your learnings. And look, reach out to me. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Georgie Hubbard. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Georgie L. Hubbard. Let's connect. I hope you have an incredible day, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon.